3, 2, 1.
Okay, so what we're here today is to talk about the grandmate story. And the grandmate story is going to encompass her legacy, what she's done, what she did, the faith she had. So we're all here together, all her siblings, all her kids are here today, so we can tell her story and share with you her memories, things she did. And so we're going to go from there, and hopefully it'll be something that'll be handed down from generation to generation. Okay, let's roll it. A little bit about the grandmate story. This is basically going to be talking about what she did. I want to basically give it, all of us going to be a part of it, all my brothers and sisters, and we're going to be talking about from the beginning to the end, but primarily going to focus on the journey coming from St. Louis to California. So what I want to do is I want to open it up to my sister, Rosalind. And it's going to bounce from different people because everybody's going to have input.
We work.
Right.
Okay, so basically, we're going to start talking about Puerto Rico, O'Fallon, and we're going to start with Rosalind, my sister Rosalind, and we're going to talk about O'Fallon. Now I got some notes. That's the intro. Now it's going to bounce around to everybody.
No.
Okay. So
yeah.
So here's the deal.
All right. This is good.
As Ray is on camera, as Ray is on camera, we basically just go in a studio setting and just feed off the next person whose the question is. Okay. I need you to.
3, 2, 1. Go ahead and start. Yeah.
Okay. So this is basically the aspect of our lives and memories in St. Louis. Okay. You can cut that, Ray. Now I need you to be. Let's talk about O'Fallon.
Once again, say it again.
Rosalind, let's talk about O'Fallon.
Say it again. Hold on. Say Rosalind.
Rosalind, let's talk about O'Fallon. Okay. What's your memories of O'Fallon?
My memories of O'Fallon is locking y'all out of the house, cleaning it up, and throwing y'all some lunch out the window.
No, making us jump out the window.
Yeah, making you jump out the window.
But we want to talk about Mama. So what's your memory of Mama and O'Fallon? Now, I got a memory that Mama allowed you to be able to, we all had chores, right? Everybody had a chore. You had a chore, Don had a chore, Billy had a chore, Norman had a chore. Me? I remember your chore being the cabinets. Mama make you wash the dishes and clean out the cabinets at the front. Do you remember something like that?
Yeah, but my chores were expanded. Bottom line was the house had to be clean when Mama came home. So in order for me to do that, my psychology at the time, or as I thought it through to the logical end, was to get one whipping instead of 2. So if I only wanted one whipping, that means
You made us do
clean up
everything.
the house, kick everybody
with you.
out, lock the door. When Mama come home, she'd give me a whooping for locking all her kids out, but then I wouldn't get a whooping for not cleaning up. So one whipping.
Romy, what's your memory? What are the chores that Mama gave you to do?
Well, Mama was like me. I was the gopher. Okay. Every time Mama needed something, she would say, "Romy, I want you to go to Al's. Okay, Romy, I want you to go to Kroger's because I need you to get this for lunch." So at that time, all I was trying to do is like get the lunch. Like at lunchtime, at school, the lunch was an hour. That was enough time to go up to Al's, get some lunch, come back, fix it, and take them to school. So Philip and Chris went to school at at lunchtime when I came home for lunch, and I took them back to kindergarten. And that was like at 12 o'clock in the afternoon for a halftime daycare, which was kindergarten at the time.
When we burned up the house.
That ain't right. That ain't right. Yeah, according to him.
According to me, I'm right. Because the thing of it is, when Don and Rosalind left, I was next in charge. that means Rosalind and Don's responsibility was handed down to me.
Okay, Norman.
That boy never had.
Norman.
Oh, that's Norman.
What up?
It's Billy Craig.
Yeah. Well,
My choice was to stay out the way. You know, the thing about it, as we did what we had to do, you fall in line. And for the people, the youngest kids, I just want to be like everybody else. So please, give me something to clean up. I just want to be a part of the family.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna throw this to Don. Don, there was something that we had every year called the inspection. The mama got a letter, and if we didn't get the house inspected, then we would get kicked out. What are your memories about what we did during that time getting ready for that inspection?
Well, the first thing I had to do was get these busters in line, because a lot of them didn't know how to clean up. So my job was to get each and every one of these busters in line, starting from Romy down to Norman and Mark and Craig and Chris. I had to make sure Chris's hair was combed.
But do you remember the letter that Mama was getting that said that if you didn't get?
Well, there was a notice that was sent out to all the tenants in the projects that we had to clean up the projects. We had to clean the building up. And my job was to get these busters ready.
Okay.
Ready for put the brooms in their hand, the mops, make sure they had a lot of cleaning detergent and stuff like that.
So Billy, let me ask you. When Mama asked you, Mama would come and say, "Is your work done?" She'd always check everybody's work. Everybody had to either vacuum, clean the bathroom. What was your chores that Mama asked you to do?
Well, you mean back in STL? Okay, yeah, back in STL, I really didn't have no cleanup job back in STL. You know, everybody else was cleaning up. I was like a peewee. I wasn't involved in that work order. I wasn't involved in that.
Okay, here we go. Okay, hey, y'all drowning me out. Time out. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Rosalind K. Dobson.
You're not my mama. That's the only one that can call me by my full entire name.
Let's talk about Dr. Morgan. What do you know about Dr. Morgan, Rosalind?
Who was Dr. Morgan?
Dr. Morgan. She used to work for Dr. Morgan. Is that right? Okay. What do you know about Dr. Morgan?
Dr. Morgan was a doctor that Mama worked for. Okay. He lived out in the suburban area, probably Creve Coeur or someplace out there. But he had a Down syndrome child by the name of Danny. Okay. And that's who Mama took care of, was Danny.
Okay, now, bounce us to Don. Don, regarding Steak and Shake, did Mama work for Dr. Morgan and Steak and Shake at the same time? I'm trying to establish that she had 2 jobs at the same time.
She had 5 jobs.
Oh, was she Jamaican?
Yeah.
Was she Jamaican?
Judge Cloyd.
There you go.
Judge Cloyd
She was
one of the domestic cleaner. The mama worked for him also, because during the time she was working for Judge Cloyd, she was also working for Miss Morgan. Like Rosalind was saying, you know, she had her son was a Down syndrome child, and she had to take care of him. But at night, Mama also worked at Steak and Shake, which was a fast food chain in St. Louis, out there on Manchester. Now, I don't know if it's still there or not, but I know that's one of the jobs that she had. So, being a mother of 8 kids, she was a worker. She worked 2 and 3 jobs just to bring home the bacon.
But there's some important. Everybody's walking around the white elephant in the room. Why did all of this happen?
Okay, wait a minute. You go down the wrong path. Okay, Don, let's talk about this job at Famous and Bar. At Famous and Bar. Mama was working Famous and Bar. You remember that?
She may have had a job there. Okay, maybe
Okay, so I'm trying to establish she worked at a very early age. You think that was her first job?
I don't know if that was her first job or not. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So I was just trying to, what I was trying to do was establish Mama's work history, how she just wasn't on welfare, because she was on welfare, but she also worked as well. She had a work ethic, which is where we got our work ethic from. Okay, I was trying to establish that groundwork, basically. Okay. We didn't get government cheese? We didn't get spam? Yes, we got spam. We got government cheese.
That was government subsidy. That was government subsidy, because there is a distinct difference
In today's standards.
in that standard too.
Okay.
Because
all
people
the
had
same.
their pride. That's why it was a lot of.
Okay, we're going to rewind back to 2020 on Fallon real quick. I got a couple things I want to cover. All right, so getting back to the projects. Now I'm going to ask everybody to go around and give a memory of the projects, starting with Chris, and then I want you to go this way, Ray. Start with Don, then go around.
You gonna start with me first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you want to know what my memories are of the?
Give me a memory of you and Mama and the projects. Good memory.
Well, one thing for sure, Mama, she encouraged me to get involved in sports, like playing ball for DeSoto, swimming, different things like that. She encouraged me to get involved, and she came and she watched me in a swimming tournament, things like that. And Mama, you know, she was cool with encouraging me to get involved in activities and stuff like that.
Okay. What's your memory of Mama and the projects?
Oh, all my memories are good. All the memories are good. What I remember in the projects about my mom is she made sure that everything was tight with the young ones, like with me, Philip, and Chris. She made sure that we were okay, and I can remember her, nurturing me and being the perfect mom to me. I didn't know nothing else, and this is my St. Louis picture. Okay, this is my picture in St. Louis when I went to school to get my picture taken. Okay, and that's my memories.
Real quick.
Yeah.
You got caught playing hooky. Go ahead.
What?
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Oh no, wait. What I do remember? Oh yeah, I do remember. One day, yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't go to school that day. Okay, I didn't go to school that day, and I thought I was getting away with it. But I didn't get away with it, because when I came home, my mama asked me, "Did you go to school?" I said, "Yeah, I went to school, Mama." She said, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yes, I did, Mama. I went to school." She said, "No, you didn't." And I said, "Well, Mama, how you know I didn't go to school?" She said, "Because my friend called me and told me she saw you and took you in and fed you lunch and everything and took care of you until school was out. She called me and told me." And I'm like, wow. Okay. And I had to face the consequences. That was that. So, yeah.
Norman over here. Norman, give us a memory of you and Mama and the projects. One of your favorite memories.
Yeah, Mama. Projects. One of the better memories I have is there was a lot of family feuds, and so one of the families we feuded with was the Rosses. 7 in that family, 8 in our family, and so as I was fighting with one of the Rosses, and I got double teamed, and my mother came down, Mama came down to help me, and she was getting ready to go to blows. She came out there, pulled up her sleeves, and start cussing them out and ready to fight, and I thought this was really something, because parents, getting ready to throw down with their kids, and say, hey, you touch him, you touch me. And so that's a good memory that I have for sure. And I'm always keep that as in family unity, and when one go down, we all go down.
Romy, what's your memory of you and Mama in the projects?
Okay, my memory of me and Mama in the projects is two things. Going back to what Norman was saying about the Rosses, they had a son named Charles Ross. Okay, me and Charles Ross had a fight. And Charles Ross was bullying me around until Mama came to the window and saw us, right? And Mama said, Romy, if you don't kick his butt, I'm gonna whoop you when you get home. So that's when I started fighting for my life. You can say ass. So the fact of the matter is, me and Charles started fighting. We actually had a brawl. And I can remember hitting Charles so hard, I knocked him out standing up. And then I hit him again and woke him up. Now that's part one. Now part two is.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay. Now, Chris, I want you to share a moment between you and Mama, either St. Louis or California. A good memory. Go ahead.
I remember when Mama put us on the train to come out here.
Don't talk about that yet. Not that, but something else.
And
well, not that. Something else. You got anything else besides that?
The memory of Mama. I remember when Mama used to stand out the window, and when we was outside playing, she would call us to come in.
Right.
And I was throwing dirt, putting dirt all over everybody, acting the fool.
Okay.
But Mama.
What about California? Anything in California, like the Atherton Street or 23rd Street, or with Maryland or anything like that, or anybody?
I mean, Mama was a school teacher at the school that we went to.
Okay.
And that was a good thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Mama wasn't gonna have it, dude.
Right. Okay.
So it was a good memory.
All right. Philip's next. Philip.
Y'all on TV, boy.
Yeah, I'm the one that ain't been on camera.
Whether it's St. Louis or California, doesn't matter.
You didn't ask me about the shrimp.
Wait. Philip. It's about Philip.
Okay, what we doing?
Any memory of you and Mom?
Shrimp.
Coming out to California. Oh, we're gonna do that last. So it's St. Louis memory. I do remember this. Now this I do remember. Okay, which way? Where you want me to go? Missouri or Cali?
Missouri first.
Missouri. I do remember shootings. See, nobody brought up shootings, but I remember one night there were some shootings going on. I was sick, and they shot, and I remember Mama grabbing me, and we dove to the ground in front of the couch, and we stayed down till the shooting was over. The other time I was asleep. Remember the brick came through the window? Good thing I was covered up in blankets. So that missed me the glass and everything. So I do remember that. Then I got one on my own. There was an earthquake. I stepped by the coffee pot in the kitchen, and I thought I started the earthquake. So, I remember that in the projects. Now, I don't know who set the house on fire. I don't know who stole Daddy's cigarettes.
Well, the fact of the matter is, Chris wanted Philip's rocking horse to smoke the cigarette. So that's where it all started, the firehouse. And then Daddy got up. It was, Chris, Philip, where you at? He running in there, and that made him panic. So I'm gonna let Chris take it from here.
Hey, me and my little brother Philip, we was in the room, and my daddy had a pack of cigarettes sitting on the thing. So I snuck in the room.
I'm going to you next, man. I'm going to you next.
I took a cigarette out, and I put it in the rocking horse's mouth, and I lit it. Me and Philip on the rocking horse playing like this with the cigarette in the horse. And then we went in the closet, and the whole house started burning up.
Okay. Finally got that story out. Okay, we're going to change the subject real quick because we're running out of time. Okay. We want to do it. We want to be able to talk. Yeah.
What about that time we were supposed?
Yeah.
I told you to hold his hand.
I was hit by a truck.
Because Mark left him.
But I'm gonna let Mark tell that story. Ray.
You want to go there?
Oh, this is going to be rich.
You don't even know.
The name B-Bomb came from a dirty diaper on the butt. It smelled so bad till it smelled like, oh, wait.
B-Bomb.
B-Bomb. Oh.
So you need to edit that out, because if it come up in this tape, it's going to be hell to pay double hockey sticks, because B-Bomb was a cartoon character in the Sunday Funnies, and my grandfather, my daddy's daddy, named me B-Bomb because when I came out, I was scratching and fighting. So you know what? You want a B-Bomb? I'm going to teach you how to sag on a pull-up.
Okay.
And the fact fact of the matter is, you still had a B-bomb. Wow.
Time. Okay, so what we're going to do now, as you can see, we've kind of went through different paths and different routes, but now we're going to bring it all, tie it all into my mother's legacy, because, you know, these are good stories, these are good memories, and we're sharing and everything like that, but we want to bring it home and really talk about the most important thing of this whole video is her venture from St. Louis to Missouri, I'm sorry, from St. Louis to California, and how it changed us, because when we were in Missouri, we were in a housing project, pretty raw, very much into a impoverished area, came to Sacramento, and it really changed us. And she discovered if she changed the environment, she would change her children. And we were very young. I was all 16 years old, so it changed us. I always tell the story that when I first came to California, and when I first got out here, I went to school, and my first day of school, I played hooky, and there was nobody to play hooky with. So I was like, where's everybody at? But everybody was in school, but in St. Louis we played hooky, so, you know, that's one of my stories.
That's great.
But what I'm going to do now, we're going to focus on freestyle. We're going to focus on this far by faith, because she came this far by faith. And so we're going to keep it short and sweet, and we're going to start telling the story on, it's going to be 3 trips. Okay, we're going to start with Rosalind, and we're going to start with Don, and Don's going to tell the first trip, Romy going to tell the second trip, and I'm going to tell the third trip. Okay, there was 3 trips from 1970 to there was 3 trips in 1970, and all of us was out here by September of that same year. So I'm going to go to Don, and he's going to start with the first trip, because it was him, Mama, and Philip on the first trip out here.
Okay, first thing I want you to know is I'm the first son of the first son of the first son of the first son. That's most important, all right? I'm a first son, my daddy was the first son, and his daddy was the first son. All right, so now that we established that, my call to get out here, I took the Greyhound. I took the Greyhound solo.
Mama though, that's usually...
No. I went solo. I was on the Greyhound with a bag of chicken.
A bag of chicken?
3-4 days of chicken for me. And I had fried chicken in a bag.
Hey, I remember that.
With some Kool-Aid and different things like that. Okay. So,
wait. So you took the bus from St. Louis to Sacramento?
Yeah, I went from St. Louis, then I stopped in Denver for a minute, and then I went somewhere else for a minute, Utah, I think. I think I made about 3-4 stops, made some friends along the way and things like that. And then I ended up in Oakland. That's where I ended up at. I ended up in Oakland. And that's where I had all my fun at. That's how I got out. I got to Oakland.
Okay, so you're the first one out.
Yeah, and then I was transplanted to Sacramento.
Okay, so
to see what was going on with my Buster brothers and see what was happening with them.
So the second trip was Mama and Philip then, right? Philip. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get with Philip. Excuse me, Philip. Well, you and Mama came out together, right?
Right.
Okay, Philip, go to Philip. Talk about the trip you and Mama came out together.
Yeah, we came out here on the train. I remember it distinctly. It was called the Santa Fe Chief. And we came out, I remember riding that train, we coming through Denver through the mountains. And my mama said, boy, what you looking for? I said, them Indians to come out the hills.
Yeah. Hey, I got a story. Keep going.
Yeah, that's how we came out. That's how I came out, and then the rest followed. And it was 1969 to my recollection. 69 to my recollection.
Now, we're going to the second trip. It was Romy and 3 other brothers. I'm going to let Romy and then let everybody else pitch in. Romy's going to start that story. Go ahead.
Okay, so when finishing the migration to California, it was me, Norman, Chris, and Craig. We all came out on the train. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up is like at that time we were so independent till we had our own jobs. Okay, everybody worked. We all had a little cash fund, but the most important moment of that trip was the fact that Norman had over $100 in his pocket because he worked at one of the summer job programs that they had in St. Louis. And that to me was very impressive at the young age, because like I was like 16, maybe 17. So Norman had to be about maybe 14 or 15 at the time that happened. So Norman to me was one of the work ethic, the product of the work ethic that Mama instilled in us. Because at an early age we learned how to survive, and we've been doing it from this day forward.
Hey, Norman, tell your version of it. What do you remember the trip?
The trip from St. Louis to Sacramento was a scary freaking trip. Hurry up and go, no bags, no nothing. Just get on the train. Yeah. Thing about it though, you know, it was a matter of a lot of times as kids we don't have time to think, just react. It's you know, I need you to go somewhere, and you know, to put it in words in a short period of time doesn't do a whole lot of justice for me. But I can truly say, you know, we were up for it because we had been used to living on the streets, used to living a hard life, used to making ends meet, and we had each other's back. So as young teenagers, 12, 13, 14, what have you, hell, we did what we had to do because we was grown as far as I'm concerned. And so that's the kind of piece that I take in the mentality that I still have. We were grown then, and so it's all good.
Okay, Ray. Billy, what do you remember of the trip out here, Billy? Billy, what do you remember of the trip out here? Ask Billy.
The trip out here was fantastic. We caught a train. We caught a train from St. Louis to Sacramento, and we didn't have that much money. We didn't have that much money. So in order to get a discount ticket, I had to be a twin. I don't have a twin. But in order to get a discount ticket, I had to have a twin. Guess who my twin was? Pan over there. Bam.
Yeah, but when we came out here on the train, do you remember? Hey, do you remember that white lady named Mary Grandmother? You remember that? When she laid me and Billy on her lap like we were her children, a white lady. Her name was Mary Grandmother.
What?
Yeah, a white lady put me and Billy right here, and we went to sleep. And she was like, "You guys are our children." Yeah.
You were almost kidnapped? Somebody tried to kidnap you on the train? And what'd you do? What you do, little Billy?
What did I do? You know, me being from St. Louis, I went straight to the purse. I didn't know no better. I went straight to the purse.
Okay, now the third trip was
real proud.
the third trip. I was the last one to leave St. Louis, and my sister and her daughter Carmen and myself came out here. And what we did, we actually caught the flight out here. So we flew from St. Louis to San Francisco. We caught the bus from San Francisco all the way to Sacramento. This was in September of 1970. And when I walked through the door, I had one suitcase. And when everybody looked into my suitcase, I only had two things in my suitcase. I had nothing but records and a pair of roller skates. And everybody said, "Where are your clothes?" I didn't have no clothes. All I had was records and roller skates. So that was the thing. So anyway, we're gonna tie it down. We're gonna tie it down. One last thing. Hannah Don. Don, what you talking about?
Morning Store Baptist Church was a real good church. The problem was that they never did get my tithes, because every time Mama would give me some money to drop tithes into the basket, I stop at the store. What's the name of that store? Rum Bums? I stop at Rum Bums and buy something to eat. I never did put my tires in the basket. Rum bums got all my tires.
Pause for a second. Okay, this last time.
Remember the time when
3,
Philip?
2, 1, start again.
I remember the time when Philip was a little kid, when he was in preschool. The days Mama used to make me take him to preschool and drop him off and everything like this. And I'd be walking to school, and I'd see him in the preschool like some boys, like a prisoner behind some boys, begging to get out and everything like that. And occasionally I felt sorry for the boy, but other than that, he had to stay there.
Okay. All right.
Preschool.
All right.
And there was some boy named George always messing with him. Philip used to always, stop it, George, stop it, George. We don't know who George is. Ask Philip. Ask Philip. Hey, Philip. Who was that boy named George?
In preschool. You had a key around your neck. Tell him you could come and go as you please, because your mama gave you a key.
Okay, actually, I don't know none of them. I don't know none of these.
They thought I was his mama because I enrolled him.
Hey, Romy, talk about the story of Mama made ice cream or chili mac, rice pudding, or bread pudding. Go ahead.
I like chili mac, I like rice pudding, and I like ice cream. But you know, it was, when you talk about making do, right? That was some, I don't know if to call that ghetto or what, but getting the snowflakes, you know, me and Mama, we went out and put a pot out there, collected the snow, and I'm looking and I'm wondering what's she doing. And so she said, I'm gonna make some ice cream. I said, how you gonna make some ice cream? And so she said, don't worry about that. So I'm just sitting there, you know, not knowing. And so anyway, she showed me, collect this ice, put you some vanilla flavor in it, some carnation milk, and a little bit of this, and that, whip it up, and there it was, ice cream.
Okay, Bill, this is for Bill.
Craig.
Bill. Craig, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm the one and only. I'm the first son of the first son.
We'll come back and get that. I want you to talk about.
This is Craig. This is Billy. Pan up. This is Craig. This is Billy. This is Billy. This is Craig. This is Billy. This is Craig. This is Billy. Okay.
Craig the caterpillar, Billy the butterfly.
All right, I'll shut it down for a second.
Right now.
The best memory I have of my grandmother was when I was younger, and I would visit her house, and she was more than a traditional grandmother. She was an extreme lover, an extreme caregiver. And after the day was done, I would get ready to leave, and she would always say, "See you later, alligator." And I would say, "After a while, crocodile." And it was the funniest thing to me and to her. And there are no words to describe how much I miss her and still love her, and how many things that I've learned from her that I carry on in my own household. But I'm a firm believer in that one day soon that we'll still be together. So see you later, Grandma. After a while, crocodile. I love you immensely.
Just to say something, any memory you have of grandma?
Hey, Grandma. Hello. Me, Nicholas. I remember when I fell off the tree. You know that big tree in front of your house and everything? I remember when I fell off of it, you helped me and went to my injuries and helped my injuries and everything, helped me. And I remember when I got near the porcupine and you took all those little needles out of my fingers and everything. I like to thank you. I love you, Grandma. You're the best. Bye.
Mine was the best one. Oh, God.
All right.
Here you go, 3, 2, 1.
My name's Maya Brown. I'm 12 years old. I go to Mitchell Middle School, and my mom's name is Zakia, and I live in 5.
2, 1, go ahead.
Hi, Grandma. This is Rashida. I go to John Cavillo Elementary School. Yeah, you know, I'm cute. I'm a lot cuter in person, and I love you. I hope you see this video. Bye. It was Layla Dobson. I'm 10 years old. I go to John Reed Elementary School, and love you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Is that too dark?
No, I'm lighting it up.
Okay.
I'll show you what I got in here.
Okay.
So I can lighten it up.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Grandma. This is Ryan Dobson, and I'm 10 years old, and I go to Jefferson Elementary School.
Say bye, Grandma.
Bye, Grandma.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
My name is...
Okay, hold on. 3, 2, 1, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sydney Dobson. Sydney Dobson. I am 7 years old, and
What school do you go to?
Jefferson Elementary School.
Okay. Say bye, Grandma.
Bye, Grandma.
All right, good.
2, 1.
Hey Grandma, how you doing? You know, I'm all grown up now. I know you're watching down over us, you know, wishing us the best. Best memory I had of you is when you come home. I sit at the table with you, try to, you know, give me your juice cup, your honey made crackers. You know, my dad always, you know, told me, no, you know, you can't have them. And, you know, now a day goes by, you know, I miss you. I love you very much. I wish you were still here with us, but I know you're in a better place though. Rest easy. Love you, Grandma.
Good.
Yeah, I guess I'm taking some.
I got the same thing in my wallet.
All right. So,
I'm good.
Anna?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Little Chris, you got an original.
Yeah, the original.
Hey, that looks just like him too.
That's the original right there, yeah, man.
All right, so it's all good.
Check, come on.
That picture, 40 years old.
All right.
No, this picture, I'm 51.
51?
Yep.
Yeah, but you was 10 on
I'm
here,
54.
I think I was
54.
8 or 9.
How you 60?
58.
58. 57. So, stair steps. Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, we can
All
do
right,
that.
so we're going to go ahead and post.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with
And last in memory, one thing I wanted to say. We used to play baseball in St. Louis. We would play baseball every day in the buildings.
Under the breezeway.
Under the breezeway or in front in the park. But one of the things that I always remember about my brothers, we always played together and we stayed together. And transitioning from St. Louis to California was one of the major things that we never let go of, is our St. Louis memories and our dreams. So in conclusion, we all good, we all living and breathing, and we all at the same place, the same time, to share the stories and the memories of Grandma, which is the matriarchs of the Dobson family. And with that being said, God bless, and everybody have a happy life.
Cool. All right. Cool.